Welcome to this VoIP Phone Systems tutorial. In this tutorial we're going to look at incoming call rules specifically for phone terminals. We're also going to briefly look at time intervals and how they can be used within incoming call rules. The first thing that you'll need to do is to head to the website voipphone.systems and log into your online portal. To do that, go to the menu and within the menu choose Online Portal and Support Videos. Once that page loads, click Portal Login, and then you'll need to know from customer services which portal it is that you'll need to log into. If the page won't load for any reason, you will need to authorise your public IP address, and you can either contact customer services or email that in. Once you know what portal you're due to log into, you can click that and then log in with your username and password, and then you'll be presented with the overview of your online portal. Now that we're logged into the portal, we need to head to the phone terminal user account. Within the phone terminal user account, we can see that there's two phones, but extension 1 and extension 2. And in this example, we're going to set the rules up on extension 1. So I'm going to click into extension 1. Once I've clicked into extension 1, I can then click onto incoming call rules. Now that we've gone into incoming call rules, we can select which rule we want to apply. The ones that we're going to look at today is hang up, transfer to and cascade. The simplest one is hang up. This is used for when you're getting unwanted calls from a particular number that you want to stop. Simply select hang up from the drop down menu, change the caller ID to matches, and then enter the number that you want to block. Once you've entered that number, click OK. And you can add as many of those as you want. With all incoming call rules, you're able to toggle them off and on using the green tick or the red cross. I'm just going to remove the hang up rule for now. You can do that by ticking remove and then confirm it. The next rule that we're going to look at is transfer to, which is one of the most popular rules. Before we do that, we're going to look at time intervals, because time intervals are quite commonly used within the transfer to function. To add a time interval, we're going to go up level and up level again to the user overview of the two extensions. And we're going to go to time intervals. When you set a time interval here, both of those users will be able to access and select those time intervals. Click into time interval and we're going to add a time interval. We're going to give an example of an office closure. So 9 to 5 business, Monday to Friday. So we're going to define when the office is closed. So I'm going to call this rule closed, and I'm going to say it's based on individual days. I'm going to say that the office is closed from midnight until 08:59, Monday to Friday. So in effect, the office opens at 9 o'clock. I'm going to add another interval, and I'm going to say that's from 1700 to 23:59, Monday to Friday. So the office opens here at 9 and closes at 5, Monday to Friday. I'm going to add the final rule to accommodate the weekend. I'm going to say that's Saturday, Sunday. So now we've created a 9 to 5 business that's open Monday to Friday and closed on Saturday, Sunday. I'm going to OK that, and I can see that my rule is here. I'm now going to up level, and I'm going to go back to my phone terminal. I'm going to click back into incoming call rules, and we're going to look at the transfer to function now. So I'm going to select transfer to. This is most commonly used if you want to activate a rule to transfer a call to another internal extension or a number of extensions or to some external numbers. So we're going to keep it very simple for this example, and we're going to say it's transfer to, and we're just going to put in a made up mobile number. So we're saying we want to transfer to that number and we want to ring it for 30 seconds. This function here allows you to define whether you want the voicemail to kick in on this phone terminal or leave it to ring until it hits the voicemail on the mobile phone. So for example, a mobile phone voicemail might kick in after 25 seconds. If you set this to 15 seconds and set your voicemail to match, it would mean that the call, even though it was diverted to a mobile, the voicemail would capture it on the actual phone terminal. You can say whether that transfer to rule is based for a particular caller ID. So if you change that to matches, you could put a caller ID in here. So if there's a particular number that you would always want to go to your mobile or a different destination, you can use that. And this is where we're going to now use our time interval. So we can say, and the call is time interval closed. So that means when it hits that outside of hours, so before 9 o'clock, after 5 o'clock and any time at the weekend, it's going to now follow that rule. Extension status is registered or unregistered. This is a good one in case your local internet connection failed or you had a power cut. So you could say that the call comes to you when the extension status is unregistered. So if your internet connection dropped and a call came in, it would automatically send that to your mobile phone. Of course, with that particular rule, you wouldn't use the out of hours parameter. If call status was, with that, again, that's another way then to send calls elsewhere. So if you said ring a phone for 30 seconds and then it wasn't answered, it would then divert. So you could say that my phone rings for 10 seconds and if it's not answered, then go to this number. Or if I'm busy on the phone, automatically go to this number. If you do use the busy parameter, it's important to make sure that you take call waiting off. Ask and do not ask allows you to record the caller's name. So before the call diverts, it will ask the caller to record their name. When you answer the call, it will play the caller's name first and give you the option to accept or reject. You can restrict the divert to only go to internal extensions, or whether you'll allow it to go to external destinations. Again, that is very, very rarely used. This is a commonly used function. So you can say also call extension 1. So as well as ringing the numbers that you've got in this section here, we can actually select to say that extension 1 keeps ringing. So that's good for a follow me service. So you can permanently leave a rule on. So if this was your own mobile number, you could keep it to transfer to this number, ring it for as long as you like, anytime, and keep ringing your phone. So that way your desk phone would ring and then your mobile would also ring as well. So when you leave the office or if you go out during the day, you don't have to worry about putting a divert on because that will always come to you anyway. Add in position. So you can build multiple rules and you can select what order those rules go in, and manage with key code. This is a really important feature because it allows you to turn the rule on and off from the actual phone itself rather than having to log into the portal. So in this case, we're going to say that it can be managed with key code 1. Do not follow. So this says whether the rule can be followed or not. So if we were to select follow, it would mean that if this was the first rule, so add in position 1, it would execute the rule, and then if there was another rule under that, it would move on to it as well. You do need to think carefully if you're using multiple rules, because it will follow all the way through. Typically, they are final rules. Manage with key code. On your phone, if you dial *74, you can then select which rule you're going to activate and deactivate. So if I click OK to add this rule, we can now see that it's here. And if you were to dial *741 on your phone, that would toggle the rule on and off. We're able to see shortcode dialing now. I've got the mobile app registered to this extension, and that can be downloaded from the App Store or from the Android Play Store. So I'm just going to deactivate the rule at the moment, and then from the app I'm going to dial *741, and what that will then do is tell me that the rule has been activated, and once that rule has been activated, that call will be terminated. So just to refresh the page, I'm going to go up level, and then I'm going to go back into incoming call rules, and you're able to see now that that rule has been activated. If I wanted to deactivate it, again, I would just dial *741. The message will tell me that it's deactivating the rule, and then the call will be terminated. If I then go up level, and then come back down the level again into incoming call rules, we're able to see that now that's been turned off. The final rule that we're going to look at is the cascade rule. Cascade is similar in principle to a transfer. The fundamental difference is, with a transfer, the number or numbers that you define in the transfer to destination, they will all be simultaneously called when that transfer rule is executed. With a cascade, you're able to define intervals between each number being rang, and we'll have a look at how that works. So with a cascade, there are fewer parameters. We can define a caller ID and a time interval. What we're going to look at is this main section. So we can say that we're going to ring the below numbers for 30 seconds. The number that we want to call, and we can type in that here. We're able to say that when that call comes into this phone terminal, extension 1, after 5 seconds we're going to call this number. We can then add a second number into that, so we can say that we then want to ring a landline, and we're going to ring that 10 seconds after the first number, and we can keep adding those up to 20 numbers. So in effect what we can say is that when a call comes into extension 1, after 5 seconds we're going to ring this mobile. After 10 seconds after that we're then going to start to ring a landline. We could also add an internal extension there, so we could say that that's going to go to 002, 5 seconds after this. And you can keep building those rules up, and again we can utilise the key code if we wanted to, so we can turn that rule on and off. So they're the main rules that we're looking at, which was the hang up, transfer to and cascade. If you need any more support with rules, you can also contact customer services.